Hi, everyone. My name is Bianca Bourgeois, and I work for the Graduate Programs Office at the Faculty of Law, McGill University. We'll be holding webcasts over the coming months to introduce you to professors in our faculty and explore our Master of Laws, Doctor of Civil Law, and Graduate Certificate programs. Today, I'd like to welcome Professor Vrinda Narain, who is here to discuss her research and interests and answer a few questions. Professor Narain is an associate professor at McGill Law. Her research and teaching focus on constitutional law, social diversity, and feminist legal theory. She was the Associate Dean Academic at the faculty from 2016 to 2019, and she is also a graduate of McGill's LLM and DCL programs. Professor Narain, thank you so much for agreeing to participate in this webcast today. And to start, can you tell us a little bit more about your research and teaching interests at the faculty?
Good morning, Bianca. Great to be here. Thanks for having me to speak a little bit about my interest and my experience as a McGill grad and a McGill professor. Um, my research interests are in constitutional law and feminist theory, and I work in areas that are diverse yet they're united around the themes of constitutional law and particularly women's equality rights. And the great thing about being a legal academic is the possibility of combining one's academic interest with real world engagement. Just to give you a flavor of some of the things that I do, most recently I completed a project with Justice Canada on identifying pressing issues of concern and priorities for the medium term and the long term for the Justice Department. So it's really terribly exciting to be able to make interventions in public policy and justice policy alongside with the rewards and challenges of teaching in these areas. I also work with a transnational women's organization, and currently I'm working on a constitutional project on entrenching women's rights in constitutions, particularly in Muslim contexts. One aspect of this is a project that I'm working on constitutionalizing women's rights in Afghanistan in the context of the ongoing peace talks and peace building negotiations. So you can see how one's research interests can be easily translated into concrete action. And so there's a way in which one's work can resonate far beyond the classroom, and that's very rewarding.
Great, thank you so much for that. And so you completed your Bachelor of Laws at Delhi University and your Master of Laws and Doctor of Civil Law at McGill. So, although the programs have changed throughout the years, can you let us know a little bit more about your experience studying at McGill? So, why did you choose to attend McGill for your graduate studies?
Um, well, it's true that I have an LLM degree from McGill, and I left for a few years and I worked, and then I came back and then I pursued my DCL. And I guess I chose McGill because of its international reputation, its name recognition. To be honest, I had never been to Canada before. I was living in the US. Um, and when I visited and I spoke with the Associate Dean of Grad Studies, he sold the program to me. But I have to also say that one of the big factors in choosing McGill over a U.S. law school was also the fee structure, which is much more friendly to people who don't have huge amounts of money. So all of these things, plus I would say the last aspect was the city of Montreal, which is a fabulous city. So for all of these reasons, I decided to study at McGill over other law schools.
Great, thank you so much.
Um, in terms of how the program has changed, I was in law school here a few years ago, not many. Some things have changed, and some things are remaining the same. The things that remain the same is the great diversity of the student body. And I think it's one of the big pluses. Our graduate program is really very, very international. So, as an international student, you feel right at home because it's so, in a sense, cosmopolitan. There are people from all over the world. Um, and so that's something I think that still remains true as far as I know. And in terms of what's changed, I think most fundamentally what's changed is the funding that's available to grad students. Because in my time, there was no funding available, particularly if you weren't a Canadian citizen. So that was really a challenge. But now we fund our graduate students, our doctoral students. So I think that's a huge improvement that's going to make a big change in who we can attract to come here and the environment you find yourself in when you're here.
No, absolutely. And if any prospective doctoral applicants have any questions about our funding package, you can contact our office at grad.law@mcgill.ca, and we can go through the funding package that we offer with you. So additionally, you've been teaching at McGill since around 2008, I believe. What types of courses have you taught that were open to graduate students?
Um, well, typically, as you know, Bianca, most of our courses are open to undergrads and grad students, so they can take almost the same courses, except for the first year law courses and the mandatory courses that the faculty offers. So, since my area of teaching is constitutional law and feminist theory, I've taught courses on the Canadian Charter and feminist jurisprudence, which have been open to grad students. And in fact, we reserve a certain number of spots in each course just so that we can ensure that grad students who want to take a course will always have a place. But currently, unfortunately, I teach first year constitutional law, so I don't see too many grad students. But I also do teach one course on women and constitutions, which is open to grad students. And typically, because it's a transnational course, I have students from across the grad program who are interested in that course.
Well, it's great for listeners to learn more about what types of courses they could anticipate taking here. And in September 2021, we'll start accepting applications for fall 2022 entry. Now, when you're sent a file to review for supervision, can you let us know what you look for when accepting to supervise an LLM or DCL candidate? So, what makes an application stand out to you?
Right. So I think that there's a little bit of a difference when one's looking at LLM files. So typically, the kind of things one looks for in an LLM file would be just that the student is interested in a particular topic, but doesn't necessarily have the academic background, but really it's the interest and the demonstrated ability to complete a piece of academic writing. So it doesn't have to be original, but it has to be something, of course, that the student has thought about. When it comes to looking at files of doctoral candidates, it's a little bit more stringent in terms of what one looks at. But for me, an applicant's file stands out for creativity, originality, and also a passion for the subject. So I'm talking about bigger things, not the nitty gritty of it, which, of course, is also important. So a good research proposal is very important that demonstrates that the candidate has thought about what she wants to do. Uh, some background in the area. So it could be work experience, it could be academic background, but most important, I think an application of a student should reflect the student's passion for the topic and the potential of that topic to contribute to scholarship in the area.
Great. That's all very useful information. And well, lastly, many prospective applicants want to know about what they can do with their graduate degrees. So, can you let us know more about the students that you've supervised in the past? So, where are they now and what are they doing?
Right. I think that's a very important question that everyone is really keen on knowing. And one of the things I would say is that don't feel confined to just the field of academia, because many people come to graduate school and have an academic or a doctoral degree, but don't necessarily want to pursue a career in teaching. I mean, that is the obvious thing that people do come to do a DCL for. But there are a number of things that a student can do with a graduate degree in law. It opens up fields like environment, like policy work. So, a lot of public policy work is possible. A lot of human rights work is possible as well. And we have a fantastic human rights center at the faculty, which graduate students can really take part in the intellectual life of the faculty through that. And through that, also be engaged in kind of concrete everyday types of situations, clinics, international courts, for example. So you can also enhance your legal career as a jurist by having an advanced graduate degree. So there's a whole variety of fields that opens up in terms of areas, meaning you can be doing tax, you can be on a corporate board, you can be a policy advisor to the government, and you can also be a legal academic. So there's all kinds of things that are available once you have that advanced degree.
That's amazing. So yes, no, we have so many graduates in many different fields, ranging from academia, but to private practice, nonprofits work, etc. So I'm sure this gives listeners a broad overview of some paths they can take after obtaining an advanced degree in law. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Professor Narain. We really appreciate it. And to everyone watching, if you have any questions about our Master of Laws, Doctor of Civil Law, or graduate certificate programs, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can consult our website at mcgill.ca/law. Just click on graduate programs at the top. You can also send us an email at grad.law@mcgill.ca. Thank you for watching today.